1 minute past the official time, so we're good. We're good. So, just one practical thing before we start the live stream. I would like to invite Jason to come here or say hello. So, yes, I mean, I say hello. I was like, hi, high five. Yes, so this is my colleague Jason, or Jason, if you prefer. He will be taking pictures today. They will be public on our social media and other channels of the partners, etc. So if you specifically don't want your picture taken, please talk directly with Jason. Otherwise, we assume consent from everyone for the pictures. So thank you for that. Great, I think we're ready to start when the guys from Arcada give us a thumbs up. Okay, wonderful. So, welcome, everyone. My name is Caroline Bondier, and I'm very happy to have you today, very excited. We have a full house here in the Naava showroom on Mannerheimintie in Helsinki, and we are at the same time live streaming on YouTube and also on Brella platform. So to all the people who are watching us online, welcome, and to all the people in-house, welcome as well. Today is a very, very important event because we are going to be talking about women, and we're going to be more specifically talking about women and their careers in Finland. And why do we want to talk about this is because we know from a number of studies and reports that Finland is actually ranking pretty good when it comes to gender gaps. So, for instance, in the World Economic Forum, there was a gender gap report that was published last year, and Finland came in second place behind Iceland, which is number 1. So we're thinking that's pretty damn good, you know. But at the same time, if we're looking at it from a, let's say, career advancement perspective and managerial roles, we're actually 51st. So we're pretty bad, and in that sense, this is our worst ranking since this started in 2006. So we used to be 46th, and now we're 51st, and we need to talk about those topics because we want to get, of course, up in the ranking, but more importantly, making sure that all of us, we are actually fulfilled in our careers. And of course, management roles and the top of the pyramid of corporations and is not always the ultimate goal for everyone. So today we will talk a little bit about that, but we will talk also about all roles and all experiences and all types of organization. So we have a very diverse number of speakers today who represent very many different industries, who have different education, who have different nationalities, backgrounds, who are also at different level of seniority in their career. And we are going to be getting a lot of insights from them. The couple of questions we want to address is why do we need to attract and retain women in companies in Finland? As well, what are the current obstacles, but also solutions, because International Working Women of Finland, the organization who I'm representing and is organizing today, is very solution-driven. So, of course, we need to talk about what's not going well, but more importantly, how we can actually fix things together. And then we will also be getting some additional perspective from also our male counterparts, because that's important to have those as well. And last but not least, because we need to support each other and we need to empower each other, we are going to have a couple of senior executives who are going to be offering some of their free time to some of our community members, but these community members will have to do a small exercise and work for getting that time from these wonderful, wonderful ladies. So I hope you have a wonderful time, and we're going to be spending a couple of hours together. And before jumping to the next slide, I would like to introduce GalithNadbornik. I hope I pronounce your name after 10 years of knowing each other. It's always a struggle. Sorry for that. I did good, good. So Galith is going to be our keynote for today, and she's not only a super successful executive here in Finland, but she also happens to be the founder of International Working Women of Finland, and today we are 8,100 people, more or less, mostly because she had that great idea 3 years ago to start this organization. So, welcome Galith, and I'm going to be giving you the mic and switching over to your presentation.
Can you hear me now? Ooh, much more powerful. I will project. Thank you, Caroline. Thank you, Naava, for the incredible opportunity to be here today. I can tell you when we founded IWWOF 3 years ago, we would never imagine to be in such a space with such a beautiful audience, a live streaming, a platform, a gorgeous event with executive represented sponsors of the highest of calibers. This is unbelievable, and yes, I think it deserves a massive high five. Caroline gave me credit for founding IWWOF. I don't take the credit because I actually give it right back at her. When we founded IWWOF, it was more of a reaction to the data point you shared. But the thing that actually scaled it was Caroline and people like herself who said, we need to do something about this. We need to leverage that platform, that space, that discussion, and we want to be visible. We want to reclaim the narrative of what it means to be a woman, an executive, an international talent in the workplace in Finland. So thank you, Caroline, once again, for an amazing work, and to all the volunteers. But today I speak as a regional vice president for an American company, but located in the Nordics. And I can speak to the day I get the role. And people look at the photo on the assignment for the Nordic head, and very, very surprised, because apparently I didn't look the part. But it didn't matter to me, and it didn't matter to my employer, because they saw the potential, and they saw the hard work, and the accomplishment that I was privileged to speak to in my career in Finland. So what I wanted to do today is not speak about the difficulty of being a woman executive in Finland. I'm not here to tell you how hard it is, you all know. I'm not here to tell you what you need to do in order to succeed, because you're doing it, right? I'm here to equip you and everyone on the line to speak about the reasoning of having women in the workplace. And you'll be surprised because it's not always about the story that you hear. Women are not always about the diversity. And as we can see in the audience today, they can sometimes be about the majority. So let me go forward. And I will spare you some headache, okay? When I was preparing this presentation, I made the horrible mistake to Google women executive. Don't do it. It's so depressing. You get the most cliche picture of a woman with crossed arms looking very stern. And then if you read the headline, it's always about how to overcome the challenge of the workplace, the statistic of lower number of women in executive position, soft skills you need to be a leader in an executive position as a woman. Very, very outdated, sad, cliche content. I showed it here for you because the other horrible, sad fact is when you look at a woman leader, she has that superhero cape in the background. Unrealistic, frankly, and annoying. So what am I going to talk about? I'm going to tell you about why and how you should have women in the workplace. But I will tell you also what are the wrong narrative and mythology to having women in the workplace. One of the mythologies is that women are representing diversity. And I'll show you statistics, but you already know it. We are not diversity. We are 50% of the world population. Take it or leave it. Diversity is not a gender conversation. There is the capability to represent diversity of thoughts, of background, of ethnicity, of abilities, of age, you name it. We can bring part of that. Diversity is a wider context. Women are not diversity. We are citizens, we're employees, we are not your quota. And I think it is a wrong reasoning to bring women in the workplace. Another myth about having women as executive employees and retaining them is that they're so kind, and we lead with heart, and we have empathy, and we're a good team leader and good team player. I mean, come on. When are we going to stop genderizing behaviors? I've had super kind male leaders. And I've had badass women leaders too. And some, just plain mean. But that's not the point. You cannot associate those kind of traits to women leadership. I disagree with it, I will not play along. A third horrible cliche about women in the workplace is, we can multitask. We're so good. We are mothers and executive and women. We have that gift you don't have. So I'm sorry to tell you women who use that as an argument to be better in the workplace, multitasking is a myth. It is proven by multiple health societies and agencies that it reduces by 40% your productivity. It is not a gender trait, it is not something you should brag about, and it is simply not a female trait. Don't use it. Ready for the last one? Did I destroy all of your belief system? What is she going to talk about? I have no idea. So don't multitask, by the way. Oh yeah, my favorite one. I've heard countless times, gentlemen and ladies alike tell me, I hire more women because they work harder. They can prioritize better. They're better system thinker. I think women are just plain smarter. Come on, that's crap. You cannot say stuff like that. These are not good rationales to hire women in the workplace, to retain them and to promote them. Women are just plain better is a crap argument. All right? So now I'm destroying all of your talk track. I hope that's not what you're talking about afterwards. But if you are, let's talk about it, let's have a debate. So now we've destroyed the idea that women are diversity, that they're better at multitasking or plain better at whatever you want. Facilitating, that's the other one I heard. That women, in general, are kinder and lead with the heart. When we've established that none of this is true nor genderized, why should we have women in the workplace? What is the benefit? What is the advantage? And why should we retain them and promote them? So we're business people here, we're executive. So let's talk business. First of all, why should you have women in leadership position? Because we're already there. We don't need to wait for anyone. There are women that are politicians. They've been for years, decades, sometimes centuries. There are women who are engineers, doctors, artists, thought leaders, philosophers, doctors, business, leaders and executive, founders, board members. All right? We're already there. Not having women in the position of power means you're missing a fundamental set of skills that is already proven, tested, working for some of the most successful businesses, governmental institutions in the world. Just be smart. The other one is fascinating to me. I went to the rabbit data hole and, got really obsessed with Finland demographics. And that's what you can see, and trust me, I went through all the data. It's true, it's verified. The fascinating fact is, if you remember what I said about women not being diversity, because we represent 50% of the population, that is an established fact. Check out what's happening in 2017. The most visible and living population in Finland will be women over the age of 85. That is interesting. If you're a business, you'd better cater to her, because she's going to be around for a long time, and she's going to make buying decisions that impact your organizations and your margin and your share prices and whatever else you're monitoring. So if you're already in the business of catering for those ladies, well done. If you're not, call me later. So that the population is actually women getting older, living longer, in healthier lives. That's not all. What is fascinating to me is that on top of this, the purchasing power and the spend capability is increasing over years. So there is a data point that comes from the US. I double-checked with the Nordics and Europe. It's slightly lower, 75%. But I thought it was an interesting data. 85% of the total spend of a household is informed by or decided directly by a woman. 85%, that's enormous. From a business point of view, women are making buying decisions. They're choosing where the money goes. As far as I'm concerned, that's good enough data point for me to make sure they're happy. This is the projection for Finland. These are data for Finland. So you can ask me later the source, but they're also in the bottom there. Why it matters is that people buy from people. If you do not understand how to speak to your consumer, how to address their need, how to anticipate what will come forward, you're missing potentially to consume from $31.8 trillion market cap possibility. Even a percentage of this for any business is an enormous, enormous opportunity. When your companies, your organizations are building, offering product, services, concepts that are decided by 85% level by a woman, should we have something to say about it? Well, you know my bias. Yet. I mean, it's in Finnish, right? But it speaks for itself. And that's why I put the picture. Caroline, you spoke to the 51st place for Finland. That's embarrassing. That is embarrassing. I was looking at this data thinking it cannot be possible. Yet, publicly traded companies in Finland today have a position filled by women. In the case of chairperson of the board, 7%. 93% of chairmen are men. That tells you something interesting, because that cascades. Board members, slightly more, but still an embarrassing 30%. Remember, we are 50% of the population. I'm pretty sure in this room, you all qualify to be on a board. Should we do something about that? There you go. How about CEOs? Another fascinating data point. CEOs, decision makers, from the executive highest part of an organization in publicly traded company, 92% are men. Why is this important? Obviously representation. But the other part is, from the top of the organization, drizzle down the recruitment guidance, the expectation of what leadership looks like, and the opportunity to bring happier, healthier organization. There is data points, I won't bore you with all the numbers, there is all the stats in the back end around the happier employee statistic to have a higher gender diversity and diversity in general in the workplace. As we all know as leaders, happy employee, engaged employee, happy consumer, happy employees, happy business. Simple as that. That has an impact on your return on assets, up to 4%, which is a fascinating number, and a 12% return on equity for companies with a higher rate of diversity on the board, executive team, and decision maker part. Think about the buying power when the pay gap decreases. GDP increases. Capability to purchase more from that 85% decision maker increases. It's just sound business. It's sound business. So when I talk about having women in position and organization in Finland, I am not talking about, please be nice, include us. Just be smart. This is what your competitors are already doing. So when I'm equipping you today to go speak to that, do not use the cliche that I spoke earlier about. Do not speak to multitasking, diversity, kindness, and whatever. Speak to business, speak to leadership. We're already here. The future is not female. I never liked that sentence. I find it embarrassing. I have a son and a daughter. The future is equal. It's equal because it's a business imperative, because it has real impact on society, because diversity is not a gender conversation. It's across all of the visible and invisible minorities. And it speaks to our society, It speaks to our future, and it speaks to us. So thank you very much. Have a fantastic afternoon.
All right, a lot of inspiration always from Galit, so we're very happy to have you here. If you can, escape, right, and maybe open the Canva again. If I can have our 3 panelists walking over here, just the time that we set up, and then I can give an introduction to that. So, Canva, live people. Yes, thank you. Et share en haut à droite. There we go. Deborah? Yes, Deborah. No, you're not in this. We have an eager jury member of competition wanting to join the panel. So, Deborah. No, still not. Deborah, yes, come with us. Thank you so much. No. Good. All right, it's all good fun, yeah? Let's not stress for anything. Good. So let's actually transition very nicely from what Galit was saying. So we know why, and that's a business imperative, and that's great. But then I have to say, I'm lucky enough, both from my 15 plus years career in Finland and also my last 3 years in IWWOF, to meet a lot of executives, and especially a lot of male executives. If I had a penny for every time I heard, Caro, we would love to have more women in executive position, or we would love to hire more women, or we would love, but they're not applying, or they're not in the same study fields that we are looking for, or they are this, and that. So not only we are marginalized, somehow 50% of the population, but we're also the problem, apparently, because we're not ambitious enough, and we are not available enough, and we are not this and that and whatnot. Yeah, so go women, whoop, whoop. You know. So I invited these 3 amazing women, Riikka, Deborah, and Gabriela, to actually discuss what are the challenges and obstacles, because I know the ones I've heard, but I also want to hear what they have heard or what they have experienced. And at the same time, I want to talk about the solutions. As mentioned before, it's very important for us. So we want to give the keys to the audience and then to leaders in this country, that what they can actually do in order to attract and retain female talents in their organization. So welcome, ladies. A round of applause, please. Thank you. Super. So I hope you enjoyed Khalid's presentation. We're going to have only 1 mic for the 3 of you today, but we're going to manage, you know, things happen. So we can be loud and we can shout as well. Yeah, I do have one question for you to start. So reflecting on your own experiences and reflecting on what you heard from Galit and our preparation talk, like, what do you think are the main obstacles why companies are failing to attract and retain women, and what they should actually do differently? Who wants to start?
Thank you, Gabi. And
empowerment.
yes, this is what a championship in the workplace looks like.
You don't want to do it.
So it's an honor for me to be here. It's really my first panel around women in tech and women in the workplace. I have had a pretty international career. I grew up in Mexico City. I then moved to the United States. I did my Ph.D. and worked in the US for over 15 years in New York, California, Chicago, etc. And I moved to Finland about a year and 3 months ago. And I must say, I was a bit surprised with what I found here. As soon as I joined IWWOF on Facebook and I saw that many super talented international women were struggling to find employment of quality. And when I myself found a job and negotiated and whatnot, and then throughout the past year, I have seen that Finland, sadly, is not as developed when it comes to diversity and equity and inclusion. And I'm comfortable saying that because I've had a number of experiences that have shown that. I think if I had to kind of wrap it up, I was thinking this morning how to say it in just a few steps. I want to say that I have seen companies lack a code of conduct that is visible and that it's out there. Good intentions are nothing, honestly. Everybody has good intentions, but if you do not have a clear and precise code of conduct that is, in fact, known by HR and implemented and respected by the executive of the organization, then nothing that is right will take place. And that's what I have seen when things halt because there's a problem and an issue about a woman not feeling comfortable or not getting a fair treatment in the workplace. There was always these, well-intentioned managers saying, oh, we can work around it and this and that. But if you don't have that process in place and there are no consequences for the managers or other work colleagues that are being less than fair, then nothing really will take place. And that has been disappointing, so much so that I learned the term the Nordic paradox, which means in countries such as Finland, where there is more equality between women and men, more women in government, more women driving tractors and doing typically male-dominated things, still, women choose not to follow careers that are associated with male qualities, such as physics, technology, deep tech, etc. And I was disappointed because coming from Mexico and the US, I expected much more openness. Yet I am the only woman in a few floors in my building at VTT, which is a quantum computing research team. And so I just want to say that I think there's still a lot of work to do. There's definitely positive elements in, like I said, in the equality in the society, but I think there's a lot to work to lead women forward. And I think I would love to see more executive men listening to us in panels like this, because it's many times them, like Galit said, who are in positions of power to not mentor us. I'm tired of the mentorship, because mentoring is you take somebody in private and you help them when they have a problem. In the US, we say, no mentoring, championship, please. That means when the woman is not there, you present her for opportunities, even without her knowledge. You champion her, you open doors for her, you lower the drawbridge, and you walk it up and show her how is it to lead in complex environments. What is it like to say no? How is it to manage as a leader with different styles of leadership? I want more people to adopt these, but in a systematic way, not just one or a few people to manage upward, but really for companies to adopt these policies, adopt third-party Qualtrics, surveys, forgive me, surveys that actually do the right thing in measuring women's health in terms of mental health and workplace leadership possibilities. So I have been disappointed, but I am very hopeful that things can improve, because I see a lot of women like you here in the audience and those people following us online, eager, willing, and with huge talent to give to industry.
Thank you.
Tough act to follow, yes.
Yeah, amen.
And we'll recap, by the way, on the few tools that Debbie was talking about. So great solutions already to the table. But Riikka, you are actually the only Finnish woman,
Yeah.
though you have
And
international
obviously-
experience.
And with
as
that,
well.
my experience is very different, obviously,
Yes.
and the whole perspective. I'm a little bit struggling with the whole question, actually, because I've only been a female. And it is very difficult to say what the male experience would be like. And I'm honest when saying that. I mean, but I think that one of the reasons, and now I'm obviously looking at this from a Finnish perspective, I've lived abroad several times, but the main part of my career is still in Finland, at least sort of physically. And I've recruited a lot, mainly in consulting and also in a corporate role. So I've looked at this from several different points of view. I think that, and now I don't want to blame the female, I think it's a societal and normative thing that's kind of inbuilt in, well, in Finnish, but I think it's also in the Nordic society, that there are sort of inbuilt things that both male and female executives and sort of be it from the employee or employer point of view, you think and act without really recognizing that. So there's, in a way, a sort of self-censorship in the choices that we take, both as male and female. My own experience, because that's what I know, is that I've studied politics and then sustainability, so I come from softer part, maybe, of the sort of science spectrum. I don't think so either, but but you can imagine being a sort of youngish blonde coming in the male-dominant work life with a sustainability background and saying that, hey, I'm here to save the world, please buy my services. So you can imagine that I have had those moments. But actually my personal experience is that it has always been a strength, because then when you can open your mouth and say something that actually makes sense also for the sort of male executive, then they are listening. So actually most of my experience from the sort of typical female point of view personally have been rather positive. But I do see that, especially when I'm recruiting young professionals, that it is true. For some reason, it is very difficult to find talented young females who choose those sort of hard sciences as their major subjects, for instance. Well, I have recruited quite a lot of people who have studied, for instance, finance, because I need that for, sustainability evaluation purposes and so on. And I mean, I don't care whether it's a female or male. I really don't. I'm a little bit blind to that, or I think so. But I mean, somehow you do end up recruiting more male than female because of the sort of input. So there's that. I know you started with this, but there's something in more normative in that. And thanks for that. So that's one perspective. Another perspective is that you do need to be lucky, whether you are male or female, and I think that I've always been extremely lucky myself with having good bosses, be it male or female. And actually most of now that I think of it, I've never thought it before this discussion and preparation for this, but when I now think of it, actually my best bosses have been male, and they have been just by coincidence male who have believed in young talent. And I don't think it has been sort of gender specific. So it sounds like I come from a sort of, wonderland where all is good, et cetera, et cetera. But I think that there's a major element in this self-censorship. The first time I have experienced inequality during my career is actually as a mother. And that's very physical, as a mother who wants to be a good mother, but also be part of modern work life. And I would say that that's an area where there is huge learnings for Nordics compared to even US. I know that we have long sort of leaves at home, paid leaves, all this. But if you actually want to combine a career with small children at home, there are many things in the sort of mentality of people and how we see the sort of mother side of being a female in work life, where we would have a lot to learn from other European countries and from also sort of examples further away. So just a couple of thoughts there, but no.
Really good. Thank you so much, Riikka.
Well, I'm going to be the third one. I am a Latin American woman, worked in Wärtsilä for 20 years. So my career is a grown-up, can move out of the house and live by itself. I started in my home country, Ecuador, and I was extremely lucky, as you said, to have a wonderful boss. Actually, not my direct boss, my boss's boss. My direct boss was one of those that was really crappy, and you learned what not to do with him. But his boss, he saw the potential of a 22-year-old woman from Ecuador who wanted to grow. And he is the one who started empowering me. He gave me the opportunity to show that I can do the work, that I can lead a company, that I can lead the finance part of a whole business unit. And it is because of him that I am here. I lived in 3 countries. I've moved twice, my whole life for that company, and just because of him, nothing else. And I have had really crappy boss, which you learn from them as well. And I have a wonderful boss as well, a woman. I think that's extraordinary, a Finnish woman who was, unfortunately, she's not longer in the company, but she is the one that empowers me as well. And I talk to her every once in a while, and she's giving me advice and telling me what to do. She's a successful person here in Finland. I can say that I cannot say more about how the work life outside Wärtsilä is, because I have never worked outside Wärtsilä. I can say that this Finnish company, men-driven Finnish company, 80% of the employees are men, do give some opportunity to women. Not engineers. Unfortunately, we don't have as many women engineers as we would like to, because women do not like to be an engineer. I know women that love to be an engineer and other ones that don't. But there is a path. We just have to find our voices and make us heard. And find these people that can actually let you talk. They are the ones who will guide you. They are the ones that can give you an opportunity. We cannot lose hope. I don't think that's real. As she said, 50% of the population are women. We are the ones who make the decisions. And we know that we are the ones who runs the house. The husband doesn't do anything without us, right? If he wants to go hunting, honey, can I go hunting? I want to go fishing. Can I go fishing? Without us, men are dead. It is true.
It is a personal experience.
It is.
Like to share.
No, it is. Men like when women are in charge, I think.
Good for your husband.
No.
Moving on from that one.
No, but in the house, the woman is the one who runs the house. The woman is the one who decides what kind of food are we going to have, what kind of cleaning things are we going to have.
I propose we get back to the work topic before we have some rebellion happening in the room. But it is good to have a good laugh, I think.
No, but it is. Women, we run things. We just need to make our voice heard.
Yes, that we need to get our voices heard. So I want to pick up actually on 2 things. One, bosses have been discussed. So we're going to deep dive a little bit more into the bosses. And then a second one came up also a little bit, and that was around female education and the lack of women in certain fields. So we're going to park the academia side for a later time, and we're going to come back to the bosses. So how many times, again, I would get a lot of pennies for a lot of things. So how many times have I myself said or heard someone said, I got really, really lucky because at one point of my career, XYZ, I had a wonderful boss. Men or female, it doesn't matter. And somehow, because we've all been in very male-dominant workplaces, we've been working with a lot of guys, I've usually not heard that from guys. I usually hear that from women. We feel somehow lucky, and we think that this has been a boost for our career, that at one point or another, someone lifted us up. Guys might maybe think it, but at least they don't say it, or that's my experience. So you've been saying a couple of times some examples, but I'd like to get like a bit more of a practical guide or examples for our audience. So what would be something, maybe specifically an anecdote or something that you would remember that made those particular bosses great? Not just the, they empowered me. It's like concretely, for instance, how did they empower you, or how did they champion you, or something like that?
For me, they listened.
Okay, great.
And they paid attention to what I had to say.
Good one. I think there's a huge difference between what is and what should be. And I think for me, good bosses know that empowering women takes a lot of work. They don't, while I agree that it's normative in the Nordics to have, more women in different roles and more men in other roles, good bosses for me read the research, know how to write the job description so that more women will apply. And there's tons of research out there about what words, how to write it, etc., so that more women will apply. There's actually research, a very famous person who was male, forgive me, or female for the 30-some years, and then became the opposite gender, and is a researcher in behavioral economics, and is able to say what, you said, I've only been female. Yeah. This person is able to say, I've been both. And I've seen this. So I can pass the name afterwards if people are interested. But I've read a book by this person many years ago. So there are blind interviews where you just cover the age and the name of the person. So there are where you place the job description. So a good boss for me is someone who cares about the issue, and from the very beginning structures everything so that they get more female candidates. Female candidates feel more empowered when working with this kind of manager, whether it be a woman or a man or any gender. And they also enable women to become leaders in the organization. And I can, of course, get into all the details. I have helped numerous organizations figure out how to do that. But it's just, in short, it takes work, and just a good boss is somebody who is willing to do the work. It takes a little longer. It's not in your corner coffee shop. You have to walk a mile to get that good coffee. But if you walk that mile, everybody, including that boss, will be rewarded highly.
I think it also comes to, being a good boss and a good leader. So basically having, and this is not, in any way gender specific, but I think it's at least three things. Firstly, to have clear vision or direction and being able to communicate that. Then secondly, basically having your back. And thirdly, staying out of the way.
Super, thank you so much. Then, let's get back to the maybe more of an academia topic. So I'm also thinking at some point that how many more decades do we need to say that we don't have enough girls in tech or deep tech or hard tech or whatever tech we want to call it, or engineering and whatnot, before we see companies maybe taking more of a hard line into getting involved into women's education, so that somewhere down the line they can actually be the candidates to the positions and so on. There's a lot of discussions on that in forums like Women in Tech and so on, so I don't want to spend too much time on that. We have about 5-6 minutes, so if maybe one or two of you would like to give a few comments on that.
A quick comment from me. I think that's an extremely good point and good idea. I think it starts pretty young. I think the influencing, at least in the Finnish systems, should start already in Lukio, in high school, basically, because even then you are making those choices that, be it like how long do you study mathematics, for instance, and you take those choices very early on when it might be that you don't have clarity over what you actually are or want to be doing, and in those situations people are pretty sort of prone to these stereotypic ways of thinking even about themselves, still looking for them. So I think that it would be very sort of beneficial to have those sort of good examples and showcases at a very early stage of successful women in tech, for instance, just to, you know, put that idea in young girls' heads that there are, you know, it's a world out there filled with possibilities, no matter you know, what you want to do. So yes to the idea.
Well, I just want to say, this is not statistical, just anecdotally watching my daughter who is in a public school in first grade. And already I see in Finland segregation between boys and girls at a very young age. The boys play by them with the other boys, girls play. I had never seen that in any other country. Back in New York, she had at 2 or 3, 4 years old, she had male friends. We did play dates. You know, her buddies were male. It didn't really matter. So I do think, I agree with you, it starts young. And, you know, I have tons of other things we can talk about in academia.
I actually think that it starts younger than that. I think that in Päiväkoti, we have to start saying, hey, you can be whatever you want. And representation.
For our audience who is not familiar with Päiväkoti. Sorry. Just being inclusive.
Yes, you're right. I'm sorry. And representation matters. It's not only saying, hey, you can be, to a woman, you can be an engineer, but show them a woman engineer. Because it matters. If you see somebody that looks like you, that is you, in what you want to be, you don't lose that focus. And you don't lose like, I cannot be because they're never going to give me the chance. So just show more of us working.
Any thoughts on how companies specifically could be taking an action? So if we're addressing a specific CEO, for instance, of a tech company in Finland, and we think that there is maybe something to do with then this like early childhood education, influencing early, grabbing the people on the right path and stuff, like what could a company or CEO specifically do, for instance, with this?
In the US, I've had a lot of success creating science programs for toddlers even. So I get all my women, amazing scientists, we visit, and it's from 2 to 6 years old, even 1-year-olds come, and we show them the difference, water in different temperatures and just experiencing. And then the women talk about what they do. You can do it virtually these days, and you know, the students just watch a screen, and just having the role models be there, not to mention all the coding, hackathons and stuff that a CEO can sponsor. Go to high schools, go to middle schools in Finland and get all teams by women and just help them form teams that are mentored and championed by executive women to create apps that are used by the community, get those stories into the newspapers, magazines, TV, you know, all of that really to generate this buzz and this community that is like cool so that young girls can see it as a cool option for them.
Actually, I think this, and now this is becoming almost political, but I think that in Finland, I mean, we have a very, very strong public sector. And I think that the childhood is very much sort of dominated by public sector services in one form or another. And my personal experience from work life and also from sort of personal life is that public sector is still much more sort of, traditional in its norms in many ways, in its ways of sort of creating certain or repeating certain behaviors. And then I fully agree with it starting very young. Now that I think of it, my best friends were always male, like small boys, and I was the tomboy, and now I'm a strategy partner, so maybe there's a connection there. But I think that this public versus corporate, that there's something there, because also in professional life, the only times when I have really felt like now I'm a young female and it can be a problem is when I was very young working in public sector roles or in companies that are sort of state-owned or some kind of linkage to public. So I think that it's also a political question, and obviously corporates can, you know, try to come there, but it will always be some kind of a sort of add-on in that sense.
Yeah, that's a great point. This public representation in the early childhood and such is very, very true. So that's a great addition. Thank you. Yes, Gabi.
And For me, I think that it matters from us. We have to make ourselves noticeable. We need to go out of the shell and say, they're not going to see me. You have to make yourself seen to be taken in account. Because at least my thought is, I cannot wait for somebody to see me. I have to be seen. If not, I will die waiting.
Great, thank you so much, ladies. I want to recap a little bit. There was a lot of great insights, and as I mentioned already several times, we are very solution-driven, so we always want to make sure that our audiences and the people who will be watching our recordings later or reading our social media posts, they actually take something like very concrete out of this that they can at least think of or then preferably action. So I just want to repeat like a few of the things that we've been saying now. So one very concrete one, and I like that a lot, is the code of conduct, because this is the ugly, unsexiest topic ever that nobody wants to talk about, but it's a very important one. And on that note, our organization is designing a specific service for how to address women in code of conduct. So if you're interested to talk about that, you know where to find me. We have actually pretty much the whole thing ready, so happy to discuss that. A lot of listening, educating oneself, paying attention, being aware that it is going to be extra work if you want more women in your organization and if you want to keep them, because we are not on an equity standpoint. We may become equal someday, but equity means that you have to lift us up more than you will the regular Joe who is already working for you. Difficult points around really understanding motherhood and what are the implications on the career, so that's an important one. Mentoring is great, we encourage that. Championing is better, and if you don't know the word, you know, it was briefly mentioned what it is, but go and Google it, because I think it's a super important one. Trying to influence women also at a young age. I'd like to remind many of the gentlemen who are in a position of power that technically 50% of their children should be women, so elevate your girls, you know. It starts at home sometimes, even though in some cases women may dominate the household. And enable women to become leaders. So that one I just want to reflect quickly for a second, because it is one thing to complain that, you know, somebody is not applying enough to the positions, or that there's not enough candidates, or whatnot, but there is also a bit of a challenge nowadays that when a woman is actually becoming a leader, there can be discussions, oh yeah, but it's because she's a woman and she's going to look good on the diversity KPIs and this and this and that. So when we're talking about enabling women to become leader, we're not talking about giving women position and just letting them fend for themselves, no matter how smart they are and so on. So if you do choose to elevate, and if you do choose to bring someone to a position, not because of their gender, just because they are qualified, do remember that that person is going to be questioned for being that gender in that position. So one way or another, even though your decision is completely neutral, in the eyes of many people, it is not. So you'll have to go the extra mile to actually make sure that that transition is working out fine. And that's in everybody's best interest. So thank you so much, ladies. We are going to move to the next part of the program, and please a round of applause for... All right, so we are actually even a little bit ahead of schedule, which is great, because then we have potentially an extra few minutes to have a few words and to listen a few things from Mr. Kari Kulojärvi, who is the patron of our event today. Woo! Round of applause for Kari. So, yeah, I'm one of those maybe silly or old-fashioned people that believe we should, women, elevate each other and support each other and empower each other and all of that, but we can't do the whole work by ourselves. So we do need also the gentlemen on our side, and been discussing a couple of topics in the past with Kari, not always specifically about this, but not always the hardcore work stuff, and I do like his way of thinking, and I do like his approach to certain things, so I asked him kindly if he would like to be giving us a bit of perspectives for today. I call it the executive corner, which might be a bit fancy, but considering he's actually a very humble guy. But joke aside, so the title officially is Managing Partner Finland and Baltics for McKinsey Company. I think everybody knows the company, so let's maybe not spend too much of me introducing that, but I think why is it important is because at one point or another, lots of CEOs in this country, and it's what, 92% are men, right, was it? Or chairman of boards or whatnot, will be potentially using McKinsey services. I mean, it's a huge firm, lots of companies going through, so there is also opportunities for us to listen how they approach, for instance, this kind of topics, such as women in organizations. And as well, I do happen to know a lot of very bright young females who are working at McKinsey and who are like really, you know, uplifted and showcased and put in position of dealing with important companies and having a voice and this and that. So I think they have good examples to take from that as well. But we want to hear also the challenges, if there are any, in all honesty. So thank you so much. I will turn you on. And thank you so much.
Caroline. Well, first of all, thank you for having me here. It's an honor. Can you hear me okay? Yes. I need to start by saying that when I told to a few of my female colleagues that I have an opportunity to come to speak to you, like a piece of feedback I received initially was that, like, Kari, why? You are a man, like you shouldn't be there, kind of. But I actually agree with Caroline. Like, to me, to fix a gender diversity issue requires gender diversity. Otherwise, you cannot fix it. It's not just that the female colleague needs to change. Also, the male colleague needs to change as well. So it takes both, in my opinion. I also received feedback from another female colleague that, like, Kari, are you crazy? Which I think speaks more about their faith or lack of faith in me coming to talk here. So please, everything I will say is said with good intention. So if I do a mistake or say something, like, it's all done with good intention. Then when Caroline briefed me about this event, we talked about diversity. And by the way, I feel like, you know, my kind of thunder of my presentation has been stolen already due to the panel and our fantastic keynote speaker. So I'm not sure how much there is for me to add, but I will reflect a few things. So when we were talking about this event, we had a discussion about diversity. And then I went home, and days went by, and I was kind of thinking that, like yes, I like fully agree with the need of having diverse teams. Whether it's a gender diversity or ethnicity or thought diversity. But there was something bugging me. And because the discussion we had was like Kari kind of says something about importance of having diversity to have better business results, which I fully agree with, by the way. But there was something in my mind I couldn't really grasp. But you actually said it in your presentation. And the thing that was bugging me was that, like, why should I justify gender diversity with business results? Like why? Because, like, we actually are talking about gender equality. And it shouldn't be, like, there should be no need to have this discussion. But yes, we have. And that's an issue. And that's something we need to change. So, like, we need to fix the gender equality topic, and yes, diversity will help in various ways and forms. There was a discussion in the panel how to get to gender equality. I don't have the silver bullet. I can talk about my history. Like, I have grown up in a family where my mother was better using chainsaw, and my father was a better cook. And the reason I tell that is that, like, in my childhood, like, I was taught that, Kari, there are no female jobs, or there are no male jobs. There's just work to do. And I believe kind of like this education actually starts even before kindergarten. Like it's like we are actually responsible, those of us who are kind of parents, godmothers, godfathers, whatever, to kind of start that journey in very early age and teach that. And we'll get there. So gender equality above all, and then we can go to diversity discussion. Like, if I think about gender diversity especially, I kind of take pride that I have helped several kind of female leaders throughout my career. It's not a statement, am I good or bad? But I kind of take that pride. But yet I kind of learn or have come to the realization that whether I have done it or not, I kind of feel that I'm today better in championship, mentoring, coaching, whatever word you want to use, than I was, for example, 2 years ago. Again, I'm not saying that I'm good today. So it's not a statement where I am in maturity level. But the point I'm after is that kind of by actively working on this topic helps me to learn. And I actually work in an environment at McKinsey. Like Karo, you said, we have a lot of very talented female colleagues. And they teach me every day. Like, they train me. They tell that, Kari, like, something you just said isn't perhaps the best way to say that. Like, they help me to think differently. They help me to go to yet another level of kind of granularity, of detail. And I think that journey continues. And to me, it's really important to kind of realize that to fix some of these issues kind of requires constant change. And it's not going to end one day. And there's always more we can do. Which kind of brings me to one of my favorite topics, kind of around this topic, which is inclusion. And what is kind of, although I have thought I'm good at it, I kind of have come to the realization that I'm not really. Like I thought I've been good in creative, inclusive environment. And yes, I think I'm pretty good in that. But I'm not good enough. And I need to become better, because there are like all these kind of like there's a level of details that for a kind of white 50-something middle-aged man is sometimes difficult to even see. Like, I might think that I really understand how it feels to be an international career woman in Finland, but I don't. But kind of realizing that hopefully helps me to do something differently, and hopefully helps me to spend some more time just listening and learning and then adjusting and doing something slightly differently. And I guess that's one of the learnings that I have had during last 12 months or so, that like I still need to do so much more work in just listening and understanding and kind of creating a kind of truly inclusive environment where that can happen. Because it's so easy when you're in kind of middle of something with your busy schedules, just go and forget that. Let me check my notes. Yeah. About McKinsey. Like I said, like we have a lot of talented colleagues, female, male. We take pride that we have 100% gender equal recruiting process. Like we make absolutely no difference between female and male when we recruit, or any other kind of diversity topic. Yet when I look at our latest statistics, we have given offers more to men than female, which is not good. Which makes me think that, like, while we take pride that we actually don't make any difference, we just kind of hold the same quality bar for everyone, why the results do not kind of, why they are not what they should be. Which has made me think that like it actually comes to these job descriptions, like you had the discussion in the panel, like how we actually attract female talent. But there are also more fundamental topics, like do we actually recruit from right places, kind of right universities? Like is the early part of our funnel correct? Is that something we need to change to actually change the game? So again, it's so easy to say that like we do everything correctly, and yet we are not. There's always room to improve. And kind of having that growth mindset is truly important. Perhaps I'd like to stop here. I'm not sure how much time I have, but like any reflections, challenges, questions, topic you would like me to answer, please.
I think there are a lot of extremely concrete, fantastic ideas, by the way, so well done to the panel to be so practical. If you had to pick one, you said you're good but not good enough. So what would be one thing you'd like to bring back in your home office and apply today?
That's a tough one.
Now we're testing your active listening skills.
Yeah, active listening. I think it actually comes back to what I just said, like the immediate problem at hand is really to improve our recruiting process, like whether it's how to write job descriptions or like what are the right words to choose, or like from where to source talent and all that. But then I think I would like to have a broader comment here too, because like if I look at the audience, like you, like we talk a lot about kind of career women, and it's a great topic. Yet there's this word international. It kind of makes everything even more difficult, if I may say so. Yeah. So like the word international is a pretty bad word. Although it's a great word, like it's a great thing, doesn't make your life easier. And I guess that's a thought I will actually take to go home with. Like how we work on that word international to make that easier for you and many others. Yeah.
As we talked before, there are certain careers that women do not follow because many things. You as a company, what can you do to ensure that more women study that, so you have a bigger pool to hire from?
Yeah, that's a great question. I'm not sure do I have the best answer for that, but we have actually extended our search what comes to universities. Of course, traditionally we have recruited from technical school, like technical universities, and you know the gender split in those schools. So it's kind of like if you have only that, you will go wrong. Like there's no way, like if your kind of the funnel at the beginning is 80-20 or 70-30, like it's very difficult to fix that along the way. So I kind of like going to schools attracting kind of female talent, kind of having the funnel balance all the way from the start, and then kind of building your process to make sure that kind of people will also go through that funnel, I think is needed. As like again, like I agree with what you said in your keynote. I don't really believe that kind of, yes, I believe in diversity, but I don't think there is a need for different quality bar or different style of interview or anything like that between female or male. Like I don't just find, like we are the same. Like and I liked your comment about empathy as an example. I don't think it's a gender trait either. So I think it's like there are actually more pragmatic steps to fix that issue.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Kari. We are out of time, so we are going to take a pause, and we're going to thank you very much for your contribution. And please, a round of applause. Yes.
Can I say one more comment?
Yes.
Actually, and then I'll
That's
promise
the famous one more comment from Kari. There is always the one more. Please go ahead.
So, I'm not saying McKinsey is perfect either. Like again, like I fundamentally believe like there is room to improve for everyone, and I kind of fundamentally believe that the concept of continuous improvement. That being said, McKinsey actually has kind of prize is perhaps not is kind of has a reward for a partner who has done the most to championship female leaders, and it's kind of given every second year, and I hope to win it one day. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Kari. Thank you. All right, so the next part of the program is going to be the fun part of the program. I mean, we've been having a good laugh until now. We've been also talking actually about pretty serious things as well. But now we're going to be having the networking. So because this event is hybrid, we are going to invite the people who are here in the Naava showroom to actually turn towards the kitchen. We're going to have some super nice goodies, and we're going to have wine tasting. Yes. From Ainoa Winery, which is a company who is making wine from the forest. And luckily for you, you're in the best indoor forest in Finland. So wish we could show more about the office, but we'll put the pictures in the social media. And then for those who are online, there is going to be a breakout room type of system, which is going to be on our Brella partner platform, so that you can actually meet and connect with each other, and that will be facilitated by Hope, who is going to be switching that on, or I don't know exactly how it works, but starting that on in like a couple of minutes. She's the tech brain of the operation. So we are going to be cutting the feed. The live feed is going to be cut for 45 minutes. We will come back at 4 o'clock. Don't miss it. We're going to have super brave IWWOF community members doing the pitching competition to win their mentoring and coaching sessions from senior executives. So that's going to be a learning experience for everyone who is trying to get jobs or change jobs in Finland and need some tips. And then for those online, please enjoy the breakout rooms, and we'll see you back in 45 minutes then. So thank you so much.
Watch your eyes watching mine in the darkness. Can't apologize for how long I've wanted this. Not long, not down, 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 down. Can you hold me down, 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 down. Can you hold me down, 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 down. I've got some problems. You could be the one to solve them with your familiar control. I love to let go. Watch your eyes watching mine in the darkness. Can't apologize for how long I've wanted this.
Elena. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to start in about 3 minutes, so please take some extra food and some wine so you can comfortably sit down and watch the competition.
I will not. No, not yet. Not yet.
We have a group here. Have some space. Come on, come on, come on. We have our online streaming starting again in a minute. So, or started maybe already, I'm not sure. Yes, super. All right. Then, we're actually on time, so that's good. We still have a little bit of time to spend together. So this is the last length of our event. I hope everybody had a good break online in the breakout rooms and then here in the Naava showroom having delicious food and wine, so that was nice. We are going to do the pitch, and the pitch is about pitching it till you make it. And that's a difficult exercise, so we're very excited about this one, and we had quite a lot of candidates for this, so that's amazing. And I would like to introduce the President of International Working Women of Finland, who is also the CEO of BusinessWiz, Priyanka Banerjee. Welcome, Priyanka. I'm going to give you the mic in just a second, and would you like me to also move to the next slide? All right, so I'll give you the mic, and you guys enjoy yourself with Priyanka and the guests that we have and candidates.
Perfect. Thank you, Caro, for making this happen. Hello, everyone. How is it going? Some energy. We just ate. Was the food good? Yes? Can we get some energy? Woo! Great, perfect. Really nice to be here, and thank you, Karo, and the whole team that created this. And I am super excited about this part specifically because it's about pitching. And it's not just any pitching, it is a blind competition. It's a blind pitching. What does that mean? Many times in recruitment, we have recruiters which might have cognitive biases, right? We were just talking about unconscious bias, and we thought that doing this blind competition will give an example of how people could avoid making a decision based on, gender or nationality or ethnicity, and focus more on the motivation of the people and their skills. And that is what we are going to do today. We have 6 really amazing participants, and we have 4 jury members. I will be introducing them shortly, but I can explain you what's going to happen so you are following. So the participants will come here and give their pitch to a case. So we gave them a case that what is your motivation to join Microsoft? And it was just an example, and why do we need to mention any company name? It's because when we are applying to a job as a talent, as a participant, it's important for us to understand that what is our motivation to join this company? And that's why we gave them this imaginary task to perform. And today they are going to pitch that. We will have our jury members sitting here, but they won't see the candidates. They will be facing the other side and listening to the pitch. And once the pitch is over, I will ask the jury member to look at the participants. The participant can introduce themselves and decide a yes or a no. So what is this yes or no? Like, what do they win? There has to be a prize for every competition, right? And the prize is something really, really important in a career development path of every individual. And that is coaching sessions that our jury members will give firsthand to the participants, something that's going to help them in their own journey to create a great career in Finland. Yes, we need to have some round of applause for that. Great. So I will now start introducing the jury members. Sorry, I have to look at this. I'm sorry if I would pronounce anybody's name wrong. I will try my best. So our first jury member here is Maria Krajewska-Olkkonen, from the chairwoman of the Shortcut and CEO of MySpeaker Growth. Give her a huge round of applause. Thank you, Maria. We have our second jury, Sara de Wolf, talent acquisition partner at Nordcloud. Welcome, Sara, to the stage. Yes, wonderful. We also have our third jury, Elena Van Leemput, CTO of Business Technology Forum. Can we hear for Elena? And our last but not least jury member, Anneli Karlstedt, Head of Inclusion and Diversity at Nokia. Right. So before we start this pitching with the jury and the participants, I just wanted to highlight that we call it a pitching competition, but it is not about competing with each other. It's at IWWOF, we always say that we are empowering and helping each other. So this is more about getting the attention of the jury, being better and competing with our own self, making us improve every day. So please take it as a self-journey and not competing with each other. Do we make sense here? Everybody in? Everybody awake? Yes? Okay, so I would now ask our jury members to face the other side so I can introduce our first participant. Okay. I would now invite our participant 1 on the stage. The participants' hobbies are photography, creating family videos, and watching Law and Order shows to understand human behavior. That's so cool. The participant joined IWWOF because they know that we can help each other to be who we want to become or provide support to those who need. And they believe in the saying that behind every successful woman is a tribe of other successful women. Great. So I will hand over the mic to the participant one now, and Hope is going to show when the time is up, right? So we have 3 minutes. Here you go.
To empower every person and every organization on the planet to achieve more. That is the mission statement of Microsoft. And that is the answer, my answer to the question, why Microsoft? It's easy for us to find jobs or roles in LinkedIn, in social media, and even from your friends that would click on what you have been educated for, your past experience here or in other countries. But it's really very difficult to find an organization that gives you purpose, that gives you value beyond your self-value and your family values. The mission statement of Microsoft that I have read and understood already told me that it is aligned with my values, the way I was brought up by my mom, a single parent, a single mother. She told me that I need to be independent. Don't get any support from anybody because you should be able to create and find your destiny. But here in Finland, the problem is whether you're highly educated, you are a strong-willed woman, or maybe intelligent, not as I do. But the point is, it's always there. The harsh reality that international women would always have some challenges in getting that valuable work. With Microsoft's mission statement, I already know that the leadership, the strategy, and the operations of the management and almost 200,000 employees worldwide would allow me to continue my quest for who I am, for what I can do, not only to me and my family, to my countrymen, but most importantly, to those who are in need. And I would like to be a part of that. I would like to be involved in products and services creation, innovation, and even maintenance of those that would help those underprivileged individuals, the farmers, the NGOs who are supporting these underprivileged citizens of other third world countries to support themselves and be empowered by the products and services that I would be able to do with Microsoft. Thank you.
Thank you. Participant, can you still stay here? And just a reminder also for the jury and everybody that here we have particularly asked not to pitch your skills, but the motivation to join Microsoft. Okay, can we have the jury members turn back? Yes. And can you now show your cards, green or red? For participant one. Woo, we have 3 greens here. Great. So now you can actually introduce yourself, your name and where you're from and what you do. And also then we will go to the jury member to hear what they think about your pitch.
Thank you. I'm Zara. My name is very long, so you could call me Zara or Z. I'm an IT professional, but as I've said earlier, there are challenges and I'm unemployed. but it didn't stop me to find my way into the system, specifically the Finnish business culture and system. I have my mentors with me from my IWWOF family. So thank you.
Thank you so much. So can we start here from Maria, and can you tell a little bit why a green card?
No, maybe, yes. Hey, thank you so much for this pitch. And yeah, definitely, I showed green because it really resonated with me. I think that you showed a lot of emotions in your pitch. And I think it's crucial nowadays that the employees or members of the teams of every company, their values are very aligned with the values and mission statements of the company. So you did definitely your work and you prepared very well, and then you showcased why those values are important for you. So that was the reason for my green.
Thank you.
All right, well, I did like it, and but I just have a few comments. Some of the positives, I really liked your pacing. One of them, just because I think a lot of people speed through a lot, and I think you definitely slowed it down and really got your points across. So I really like that part, and you focused on kind of what the company does and their mission. So I'd say I liked 99% of the pitch. I'd say. You made it definitely personal to yourself, but I think a lot of it was really serious. It sounded like a very serious speech. So I think if you added like 1 or 2 sentences that were maybe getting to know your personality, that's the kind of the funner side, or like kind of the or just like the reasons why like you would be really fun to work with or something, or just showing some like a different part of your personality, that would have worked. Or would have been a good addition, I would say. But overall, I did really like it as well.
Thank you. Hi, Zara. Thank you for the pitch. And it was a green from me. I have a couple of selfish reasons. And the first one, which is not selfish, is that I really like your pitch in that sense that your personality came out of there. The 2 selfish reasons, first, you got me at photography. So I also do photography. In that sense, we have something in common. The second one, always help your kababayan. I recognized your accent. Being a Filipina myself, that was something that I could not just pass on.
Thank you so very, very much. I really liked your pitch as well. My color was green. Not to say the same things as others have said, so I absolutely agree with what Maria and Elena here said. What I especially liked was the vulnerability that you showed, the authenticity, the how important this is for you. And I always like when people talk about their families or their background or give me depth of their experience, and that also shows the values of yourself. So I appreciate that.
Perfect. Thank you so much. And thank you, Zara. Let's give a huge round of applause. And then the jury once again. We have 6 participants, so just to stay in the time, from the next time, let's do the feedback a little faster, if it's possible, and then later on we can have more discussions. Great, so now I would like to invite participant number 2. The participant motto is to make the world a better place, even by contributing a little each day. The participant loves to aspire to motivate young girls to dream big and break the boundaries. During their free time, they like to dance, read books, and chase the sunset in search of vibrant colors in the sky. Colorful introduction. Welcome to participant number 2, and here you go.
Hello, everyone. I strive to bring impact for those organizations which focuses not just on business, but also on social and environment aspect. Hence, Microsoft is my dream company to work for. I would like to highlight 3 reasons why I want to work at Microsoft. 1, company's mission statement is to empower every person and every organization to achieve more. Microsoft provides very good work culture and encourages employee growth through training, education, and providing vast resources, which shows how much they care for the employee. And hence, that would enable me to use my fuller potential to achieve more. Point 2. Yeah. An idea of giving back to the society, that is by doing so much good for the community, resonates with me. Various initiatives like taking steps to reduce electronic waste and responding to the need of the planet, supporting deprived sections of the society all over the world with the help of AI, providing online platforms, that is free platform to millions of people across the continent, and hiring people with disability, thereby making world a better place. And third point, that is lastly, but most importantly, Microsoft does a lot for women empowerment. Being a girl, even I face many challenges. Like, I fought with my parents to achieve my dream of completing my education and be financially independent. When a company like Microsoft does so much for women, providing various platforms like DigiGirls, wherein they inspire and cultivate interest among young girls to interest in STEM, that is science, technology, engineering, and math, and Time to Raise is the program which is helpful for women founders in the Nordic countries with their fundraising journeys. So when I reflect on this, I can imagine myself working each day for Microsoft, knowing that I will be making a difference for this community. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Let the jury turn and show their placards, if that's what it's called. Oh, so we have one green for you, and let's go to a very quick feedback round.
Hey, thank you so much as well for the pitch. I also like your presentation, but one maybe comment I have is about it's always nicer, I believe, to go straight from the heart, even if all the details are listed, than actually have it read from the card or for the text. And I think that it was very clearly heard that it was read pitch, not memorized or straight from the heart, maybe a bit. Thank you.
Well, I liked it because you organized it well, you had different points. So maybe, it's good to speak from the heart, but also to be a little bit more technical with it. And I liked how you talked about both sustainability and sustainability with technology, which I thought was really cool. I liked your overall pitch, and I know that it's kind of nerve-wracking speaking with so many people. I know, and when that happened, you just kind of stopped and gathered your thoughts. You didn't get all kerfuffled, if that's a word. So normally I think a pitch isn't with so many people, so that's definitely understandable.
Thank you for your pitch. For me, it was a red because I couldn't find a connection that I could personally connect with you and start that sort of, if I'm thinking of mentoring, I can't start anything if I cannot connect to the person itself, regardless of the motivation. But I think you had good points, and maybe bring out that personality next time.
Thank you. I liked your pitch. Just one thing. I think you missed sort of the examples of your own life, as Elena was also saying, your own life, how it links to the mission of Microsoft. And I think that would have added a lot of there. And I would also stress what Sarah said. It's okay to miss the words sometimes. So no one is perfect.
Great, thank you so much. Very quickly, your name and...
Hi, I'm Sneha, and I'm a finance analyst. I help organization in preparation of various reports and providing the analysis. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much. And sorry, I have to rush so that we are on time. Great. Thank you so much, Sneha. Let's move on to participant number 3. I see jury doesn't need my instruction anymore, so that's amazing. Great. Participant number 3. The participant purpose is to produce profitable solutions to help people and planet. The participant also loves to winter swim, garden, and paint. Their motto is, be the change you want to see in the world, as Mahatma Gandhi said. Welcome, participant number 3, and here you go.
Hello, world. Yeah, you got it. So why do I want to work in Microsoft? Where do I start? So Microsoft and I, we share the main feature. And that is surprisingly not the passion for technology. That's the core, we'll get to there. But the main feature that we share is resistance. Microsoft is known in the past by maybe not that smartest of moves or solutions, but they are still one of the biggest corporates in the world, one of the most profitable ones, and they are taking a lot of share market in IT. Who doesn't use Microsoft in their life daily? Everybody does. So that's, and me, I can relate because I decided I have a problem to solve in the world that was stated. So research, does it work? Maybe not that much. Startups, does it work? Yes, but not exactly. Policy, does it? Like politics? Yeah, maybe. Non-profit, yes, but not really much money. So what we both do is that we fall, we lay down there, maybe learn, make a couple conclusions, stand up, and make it work for us. And another thing is that I really love is for the last 5 years, since there was a new CEO, Satya Nadella, I really emphasize with his leadership principles that he brought in. And that is also aligning with the mission statement that has sounded already several times. But he made sure that Microsoft is a company that you feel that it's yours, and that it is a platform where you can figure out your philosophy. And the latest product that was released just in August actually helped doing it. You can now figure out the philosophy and mission and how do you actually do it as addition to Teams, which is really working. And this is what I value as a manager and being managed, because people perform their best when they know that they're cared for and they can learn and grow in the company and not just KPIs. And yeah, I'm very excited to see what they're going to do in the future. They have already been doing quite a lot of smart things with augmented reality, with AI. I'm really excited to see what are they going to do with quantum. And what's in it for me? Well, I get to work with some of the smartest people on the planet. Thank you.
Wonderful. Participant number 3, can we have the jury face here and give their cards? Whoa, we have 4 yeses. Amazing. Would you like to quickly tell your name and your skills?
Yeah, so I'm Violetta Massala. Some of you know me. I was one in IWWOF with Lappeenranta, now it's mostly Maria. I'm sustainability professional. But now I'm looking towards mostly consulting and strategy. It just aligns nicely in there. We can talk about it, how I get there later. But yeah.
Thank you so much. Call to action. I love that. Can we have some feedback?
Yes, I'll be very fast. I really love the creativity. So that's my main point, and then the green. Thank you so much.
To be fast as well. I liked a lot about it, but I would say main things, unique, funny, and hopefully we can go winter swimming together sometime.
I really like the attitude that you brought, and also it shows that you're very strong, and we need that in consulting businesses, and I'm from there, so.
And I showed green because the clever move, I guess what you meant was Microsoft buying Nokia devices and services business. So I need to provide, because I was the director of communications, change communications at that time, so I need to provide you a little bit background. And the Nokia wouldn't exist without Microsoft having bought that unprofitable business. So just, yeah, let's talk.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. And thank you, Violetta. That was awesome. Now, let the jury face the wall again. The wall. We have participant number 4. The participant loves good, spicy food. I like that. And enjoys going for a walk and listening to music. Motto by Sidney J. Harris: maturity begins when we are content to feel we are right about something without feeling the necessity to prove someone else wrong. Amazing. Welcome, participant 4, and here you go.
Hello, thank you. So first, I would like to say thank you for giving me the opportunity to attend this event and also to participate in this pitch competition. I really appreciate the effort by all organizers who have worked really hard in making this happen. And also thank you for the panelists for insightful discussion. So there are 3 reasons why I want to work for Microsoft. First, inclusiveness of your organization. One thing that caught my attention was Microsoft Leap apprenticeship program, because not only the program provides an opportunity for people with non-technical background to start their career in technology industry, but also for those who would like to re-enter the workforce, for example, after being a stay-at-home parent or after taking care of a family member. I want to be part of an organization that is inclusive, takes care of its people, and also believe in continuous learning. And I believe that I will be able to obtain this at Microsoft. Second, I want to take COVID situation as an opportunity to learn more how technology can help businesses. We have seen how the pandemic has changed structures in many industries in terms of growth, market share, and also business processes. So personally, for me, the biggest transformation is that more and more businesses are moving to the cloud. And this is the area where I want to focus myself and also build my long-term career. And this is also brings me to my next point of why I want to work for Microsoft, because your company is a leader in cloud computing platform. Microsoft Azure provides wide range of services from AI, analytics, database security, just to name a few. I believe I will always learn something new at your organization with the brightest minds in the industry. I believe that working for Microsoft will be a wonderful and journey and also learning experience, and at the same time a really humbling experience. Thank you.
Well done. Thank you so much, participant number 4. And can we have the jury? And can we see their cards? Yay, we have 3 yeses for you. Do you want to introduce very quickly?
Hi, I'm Teresa. My profession is Salesforce admin. Thank you.
Grace, great, sorry. Grace. Can we say Grace from here?
Yes, definitely. Thank you so much for that pitch. So you got me on especially one point that you mentioned 2 or 3 times. It's your willingness to learn. Basically, you indicated that you have a growth mindset and you want to learn, you want to explore, and this is something that it's important for you in the organization. I think it's very, very crucial in the modern workforce. Thank you.
So I think that your speech was very well organized, and I think you got your point across very well, and you hit my soft spot of cloud technologies, so of course.
You had a very good speech. For me, the red, because I was more looking to see what you would bring of you into the equation, and I didn't hear that, so.
For me, it's green as well, because you're such a humble person. I think I was missing a little bit of your personality, but we can discuss about that in our session.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Teresa. Can we have a huge round of applause for her? Jury is already on point. We have 2 more participants left. So I would now like to invite participant number 5. The participant believes it is important to try different things at all levels. And this motto is the reason that brought them to Finland. They usually compare themselves as a chameleon, bold at times. While in professional life, the participant is 99% of the time out of comfort zone, in personal life, they like the routine and simple things like going to the gym, gathering with friends, and their biggest passion is giving a new life to thrifted objects. Oh, I need to talk to you about that later. Here you go.
Whenever I apply for a job, I look at the values of the company, of course, like everyone has shown today. But also for me, one most important thing is sustainability. Sustainability not as a topic or a value a company would put in the website, but at the practical level. Myself, I'm coming from an energy background, so you guessed it, this is very dear to my heart. And Microsoft has shown this combination between innovation, which is their value, and sustainability at the practical level. They have not only supported the deployment of hydrogen cells, fuel cells, to power up their data centers. So this means that it could replace 3 megawatt generator. And if this is too technical for you, keep in mind that they have invested 1 billion euro into climate change or climate investment funds. And they have invested in very innovative companies, like one company that is producing concrete for buildings made by recycled CO2. So we are at the heart of innovation. And this is the type of challenges or kind of topic I would like to take part of. And secondly, which is most important for me, as an adaptive engineer, I have background in energy, as I told you, but I also did industrial engineering. I am very far from IT. And when you browse in LinkedIn or in Microsoft Careers, what you can find a place for everyone. You can find positions like project manager in permitting, construction permitting for data centers, or environmental, or energy markets. I have done also electricity markets, so I can fit there, and I know that they will provide also the tools for you to navigate through the career. And this is what also makes me confident that even with any typical profile, I can fit in the company. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Can we have the juries? And can we see your cards? Okay, we have 2 yeses. Great. Can we have a very quick introduction?
I'm Yasmin from Morocco, and I have energy background, you guessed it, but I'm working now as a project engineer in power electronics.
Wonderful. Can we have feedback, please?
Yes, definitely. I gave you a green because I really love the fact that you are very clear about what you're passionate about. This is very, very good to hear as well. And, it felt that you're very serious about it. That is very, very, very important to you. So, it really spoke to me that, you are you know what you want in that sense. And I think it's important.
From me, I thought you're a very good speaker, and I enjoyed that and kind of the same comments as you said, but just like tying in a little bit more, I guess, why it affects you in your personal life. So yeah, just a little bit more personal, but I think overall it was very good.
So a green from me, very nice speech, concise, and your points. And also I have engineering background as well as business background, so there's something maybe that we could share.
I really liked your speech, but I gave you a red because I think I'm more on the social side and I can do coaching on that rather than on the environmental. So you won't benefit from my coaching.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Yasmin, and to the jury. Great. I love the energy. Keep it up. We have 1 more participant to go. Lovely. So we have the last participant now, participant number 6. The participant is a self-motivated, disciplined, and focused individual, eager to learn new things and solve real-life problems by creative means. They believe this is possible and sustainable in an environment with mutual support and encouragement, which becomes an enabler and brings out the best in them. So, bring out the best in you, participant number 6. Here you go.
Thank you. Well, I'm the last one, and there isn't much left that hasn't been said yet, but I'll try my best. Okay, so I was in my 3rd grade when I was thrilled to learn that we are being taken to a computer laboratory for a practical lesson on computer. I was obviously very curious to know what is inside the computer that makes it work. I was very intrigued to get to know that better. And then I happily concluded that Microsoft is the soul of every computer. So ever since then, it has been impossible to think about doing anything without Microsoft in the mind, whether be it a project related to college or some school assignment or official work. Microsoft products and services are there, providing innovative solutions to the world and making the lives easier. Not only that, Microsoft has played a very crucial role, has a strong foothold in providing a very contributing to community by their contributions in terms of women empowerment, in education, in terms of introducing diversity and inclusivity in the workplace. And also they have a target of being carbon neutral by the year 2030. Now when I'm moving to next phase of my career, I think it would be an absolute honor to work with a company like Microsoft, which is futuristic, where I can enjoy working, which provides the right resources to pursue my passion. It's a futuristic company which has a vision 2050 and thinks 30 years in advance. So you can well imagine if that kind of great vision gets combined with the right planning and execution, it is bound to make an impact. It is bound to make imagination a reality, which is why Microsoft is such a strong brand today. Microsoft has been solving complex problems, and it employs one of the best people in the world who are working together to make things happen, to provide innovative solutions to the world. So I think working alongside such people, working in that kind of culture, that kind of environment that Microsoft creates for the employees is going to bring out the best in me, and it very well aligns with my future aspirations, where I want to bring in impact, and I want to learn more, and I want to empower others by sharing my own learnings and experiences. So thank you very much to all of you for hearing me out today, and thank you IWWOF for giving me this opportunity today.
Thank you so much, participant number 6. Can we have the jury and can we see their cards? Yay! We have 3 yeses here and a quick introduction.
Hi, I'm Riikka Srivastav. I'm a Lean Six Sigma professional and experienced to process excellence, quality, and change management. I have relocated here from India 4 months ago, and I'm looking for new opportunities and to find something interesting to work upon now.
Wonderful, that's amazing. And let's hear some feedback.
Yeah, thank you so much for the presentation. There were a couple of things that I would still like add, maybe some more link, even if you had a great story in the beginning, personal to the, more link to the big picture of the company. But I really loved your energy, and I think it's so important as well to have a great energy, to leave the other person energized, and bring your positivity to the conversation. So this is why I gave green.
I'll be quick. I liked your speech. I think it had an interesting flow, and I think you said it good as well. It brought energy, so I liked it.
I was a bit hesitant. I am hesitant because I wasn't quite sure what I could bring to you that you don't already know, but I really liked your story, so keep that up.
And I'm happy, looking forward to talk to you. And we are hiring, so yeah, absolutely.
Great. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Ruchika. And first of all, it really takes courage to come up here, present yourself in front of all these amazing people. So to the courage, please give a huge round of applause to all our participants. And thank you so much to the jury members for your time and for in the future when you will be coaching these amazing people. And if someone from Microsoft is listening, you would never have a better lineup for your company. So let's make that happen. But now passing over the mic for the closing words to Caroline. Thank you so much from my side. A wonderful having you all here.
Wow. And I do agree with you, and I'm going to make it my personal mission to actually pass that video along of these 6 candidates to Microsoft HR department, because we had people from finance, from sustainability. I mean, we can basically, like, you know, staff the whole the whole team. So, and of course, IT department as well. So, maybe the first reflection on this last session, and then I'll give reflections on the whole event. So, first of all, I'd like to point out that we did give a directive to the jury members, which the candidates didn't know about. And that directive was that we were aiming for altogether 6 hours total worth of coaching and mentoring sessions to be given out. That was the minimum we asked. And they were so generous that in total, they actually gave out 15 hours. So thank you for that. Good pitches, of course, but we do know and we do understand that you ladies are super busy in your very fancy careers, and it is a big deal for us in our community that people like you are actually giving the time. So thank you so much for that. I think that's amazing. I think, like Priyanka said, we gave the Microsoft case on purpose because we didn't have anyone from Microsoft today, and because it's a company that everybody knows, so we don't need to spend 2 hours introducing it. So I think hopefully maybe Microsoft will get this, but also I do think that there is opportunities for the company present today to hear the talent, to see the talent, and then maybe to make some connections. So this was a bit exercise in disguise to get those connections happening. So I think that's super great. And also what I think was very important is that it's often, especially for internationals, we hear that they don't get feedback when they apply for a job. So now not only they got feedback, but it's live streamed and it's recorded, so others will also get the feedback, which I think is great. So it's a gift, not only for these 6 candidates, but for everyone. And last but not least, what I took away also from this exercise is that maybe for someone like Sarah, if I may, very concrete, very relatable things, very fact-based, calm, let's say, standard energy maybe was something you responded to, and maybe the other person responds to something totally different. So we as candidates, we are not robots, and also recruiters are not robots. So somebody will resonate to something that might be more personal if you refer to your childhood, or if you refer to something that is very strongly your family values or something like that. Others might respond to a hobby or an activity. Others might respond then to super specific technical fields that you like, and so on and so forth. So I think this was also a really great showcase of that. There's no exact science. It's all about feelings, emotions, personalities, and so on. So let's keep that in mind also in the recruitment, and try to keep recruitment also a bit organic, right? We tend to make it very mechanical, like anonymous CVs and databases, and look only at the skills, don't look at the people. Like it's a bit sterile, maybe a little bit in my view. But so thanks again. I think this was a really good thing. So then on the closing words, I will just ask one question, which nobody has to answer. It's a rhetorical question, but how much smartness can you actually get into one room, into one afternoon? Like seriously, my mind is just exploding. Between the speakers and the keynote, and Kari with the executive corner, and competitions and juries. I mean, how much talent and untapped talent also is in this country still. So let's still think about that. I want to give a special thank you to those I have not mentioned yet. So I'm not going to go through all the names, but they are here. So it takes a village, as they say. We had a wonderful team from IWWOF. We had a wonderful team from Naava. We've been getting amazing supports and a great platform from Brella. So I hope the guys online, you've been enjoying the experience. I'm hearing there's been a lot of chats and people in the breakout rooms and stuff, so that's been great. Noah, thank you for providing a wonderful experience here for us and during the break. That was really wonderful. And then Arcada University of Applied Sciences has gracefully managed all the technical aspects of our stream today, and audio and presentations when then provided by this wonderful device, if you can see it from the video, maybe not, but at least from here, from a company called Artome. So this has been a lot of hours in the making, a lot of work from everybody. Thank you so much. We hope that you enjoyed, and we will hopefully see you soon again. Thank you so much.